Hello. I'm going to start my presentation by asking you guys a question. I want you to look at these pictures of me and think about which one you think is more dynamic. Raise your hand if you like this one better. Wow, like 5 people. Raise your hand if you like this one better. I'm with you guys, I like this one better. It's shot using the photographic technique of chiaroscuro rather than just flat lighting. So chiaroscuro is a word often used in art. It describes a style of painting or photography that makes use of contrasting light and dark. It's a word not often used outside of art history classes, but I think that's a shame. Here's one example of chiaroscuro in painting that many of you will probably recognize. It's pretty much any painting by Caravaggio, honestly. So I think it's a shame that this word isn't used more often, because contrasts make life richer. I'm artist Betsy Hinze, and tonight I'm excited to share with you a project that I've been planning focusing on the themes of contrast. First, things are going to get a little bit personal, and then I'm going to talk more about the beauty of contrast, and finally I'll tell you more about my project. So anyone who's ever experienced hardship knows that the world is not all good all the time. But the contrasts in life give it richness, and the darkness gives light a purpose. It's holding on to these ideas that's gotten me through a great deal of pain and suffering in my own past. About 1.5 years ago, I got incredibly ill. Not many 20-somethings are forced to face their own mortality quite as painfully or as bluntly as I had to. I'm not who I was before I got sick, but I've learned that even in the darkest moments, there's light to be found. And my existence today is richer because of the darkness, because it forced me to find an internal light that I didn't know I had. So here's the lesson. Contrasts make life richer. Beyond my personal example of sickness versus health, or other applicable examples such as happiness versus sadness, or heartbreak versus love, it's the everyday contrasts that enrich our lives. Without bitter, would we appreciate sweet? Without rough, would we even notice smooth? The concept of dualities shows up in the philosophies of many cultures. One obvious example that I'm sure every single one of you will recognize is the yin-yang. The yin-yang in Chinese philosophy states that contrary verses are actually complementary and interconnected. Everything has both yin and yang aspects that cannot exist without one another. For example, shadow cannot exist without light. Carl Jung echoes this point by saying, not only darkness is known through light, but that conversely, light is known through darkness. I want to create a food-based event called Chiaroscuro, highlighting how important contrasts are in enriching our lives and opening a discussion for recovering from past trauma. It will be set up as a cocktail party with a banquet table in the center divided down the middle. On one side of the table will be all white foods, and on the other, they're all black counterparts. The forms will be the same, the colors and the tastes drastically different. Sweet white chocolate ganache juxtaposing earthy black garlic paste will highlight the vibrancies of each. Here you can see some preliminary planning work for the menu. The food itself will be served on a gray tablecloth covered in subtle writing about my own experiences finding light in the dark. As each guest enters the room, they'll be handed a handmade gray ceramic plate containing quotes and mantras that I clung to when I was ill. Phrases such as, I have been worse, I will be better, and this too shall pass. These plates will be a take-home reminder to the participants to look for the light in the dark, and will hopefully serve as comfort in their future. So I'm trained as a fine artist, a glass blower specifically, but by far my favorite medium to work with is food because it brings people together. This is something that every single one of you clearly understands because you're here tonight at an event that does exactly that. Why focus on appealing to just the sense of sight when you can appeal to all the senses through art that is meant to be touched, heard, seen, tasted, and smelled? I want everybody who experiences my work to leave with a memorable experience, from the intense sensory relaxation of combining a yoga and meditation practice with handmade glass plates serving conifer-spiked truffles, or the excitement and discovery of hunting for confectionery mushrooms made out of wild foraged ingredients in the back of a brewery in the middle of the city. I'm excited to take all I have learned so far in crafting multisensory art experiences and apply it to the most personal and meaningful story I have to tell. Chiaroscuro will be an opportunity for participants to reframe how they view the contrasts in their own lives, and will open a discussion about emerging from all of our personal shadows. And you're all invited to be a part of it. Use the contact information in your booklets to follow me on Facebook for updates about the event, which will take place in July. And I've also started a Kickstarter campaign to raise as much money for the event as possible so that nobody who wants to attend will be limited by ticket price. It's going to be live in just a couple days, and you can find it by searching kickstarter.com for chiaroscuro or contrast. Please vote for my project tonight because I need all of your help to bring these ideas to life. But also, please take something away from my speech and look for the light in the next dark spot you encounter. Or even just notice how much better your soft, sweet donuts taste tonight after your crisp, salty radishes, and appreciate them both more for their differences. Thank you.